我跟你说啊，现在不管是任何相亲市场都不可能再出现舔狗了。如果你喜欢了一个男生，这个男
Let me tell you. Nowadays, no matter what kind of blind date or matchmaking market you're in, there will no longer be simping dogs. If you like a boy, and that boy also happens to like you, then you must not think about testing him or deliberately ignoring his messages. Don't think that by making the relationship seem harder to obtain, he'll treasure you more. Because after a few days, you'll realize that this boy has also disappeared. Do you think such a boy will turn back around and keep chasing you? No, he won't. By the time you realize it, he may already have another girl by his side. So don't do such foolish things again. If you like someone, you must show your attitude and engage with them, communicate, get to know them. For both men and women, it's the same. It's not about who should wait for whom or who must pursue whom. Rather, when you meet someone you truly like, you must know how to cherish them and hold on to them.
32岁未婚独居，这是一种怎样的状态呢？有人说
What is it like to be 32 years old, unmarried, and living alone? Some people say it's freedom without the constraints of family. You can do whatever you want, live however you like. Others say it's loneliness without a partner's companionship. Life can feel monotonous. In reality, the true state of being 32, unmarried, and living alone varies from person to person. For some, they enjoy this freedom and independence. They can focus on their careers and personal hobbies, pursue their dreams. They can control their own time and finances without having to worry about family burdens. However, for others, they may feel lonely and isolated, longing for a partner by their side. They may also face social pressure and family urging, which brings anxiety and unease. In any case, being 32, unmarried, and living alone is not a failed way of life. Everyone has their own choices and lifestyle. What's important is to respect your own choice and strive to make your life more fulfilling and meaningful. All right, a fulfilling day is over. Time to sleep. Tomorrow I have to wake up early to play golf.
你们信不信？没有老公的女人，她也希望有老公。
Do you believe it or not, a woman without a husband still hopes to have a husband? Right now, whether it is a divorced woman or an older leftover woman, their requirements for men are extremely high. Yet, they do not realize that they themselves are actually very ordinary. As long as a woman lowers her standards for men even just a little, she will live a very happy life. Currently, out of 10 people who get divorced, 8 of them will regret it, and those who say they do not regret it are just being stubborn with their words. Having a husband and not having a husband are two completely different things. A divorced woman and a woman with a complete family are not the same. On the surface, today's society seems tolerant, saying that divorce is very normal. But is that really the case? Other people will definitely think, one hand cannot clap, so why exactly did you get divorced? If you have a husband, your husband earns money and gives it to you to spend, and you do not need to give back a single cent. If you do not have a husband, that is equivalent to not having a stable little fund. Every man you come into contact with will be rumored by others, gossiping about you and him in all kinds of ways. And furthermore, if you have a husband, that means you have a stable little fund. But if you don't have a husband, to put it bluntly, today this man gives you 500, tomorrow that man gives you 800. This is not only unstable, but also brings up the huge problem of whether they are even healthy. Take advice and you will live well. If there is someone suitable, then get married. Appropriately lower your requirements, and you will live a happy life. A husband is like nuclear weapons. You can leave them at home without using them, but you absolutely cannot live without them. Before we dive into all of this, let us know in the comments where you're watching this video from. Connecting with viewers across the world is a huge source of inspiration for us.
44岁风韵犹存的离异老 baby， 仗着自己长相甜美，相亲时提出必须找一个有钱的男人。
A 44-year-old divorced old baby, still carrying her charm, relies on her sweet looks, and, during blind dates, insists that she must find a wealthy man. She demands that the man must own both a car and a house, and have a monthly income of at least 10 or 20,000 yuan. Because, as she says, if the house is too small, it cannot fit me and my 2 children. If the income is too little, it doesn't feel satisfying to spend. She declares, my requirement for a partner is that he must have a car, a house, and a monthly salary of about 10 to 20,000 yuan. Additionally, she requires that the man must also be handsome after all. She believes only a good-looking man is worthy of her peerless beauty. And of course, No overweight men. He must be taller than 1.7 meters. Household chores? Absolutely must be done by the man, because she has never done housework. Nor does she know how. She wants a man who will diligently take care of the household tasks. On top of this, she demands that the man must treat her daughter well in the future. She even states that these are already her lowest standards. She insists that single men should feel lucky. Are my standards too high? Not at all. Aren't you even higher than me? She laughs. This old baby claims that her previous unhappy marriage was entirely due to her ex-husband's incompetence. He earned only 4,000 yuan per month, which was far from enough to support the family. Worse, he shamelessly asked her to go out and work. Unable to accept this, she chose divorce, took the family savings, and left with the 2 children. Now, she only wants to find a man earning over 10,000 yuan per month to live a good life. After all, with her looks and figure, she insists she has every reason to be picky. But the host believes her demands are far too high, pointing out that even many women in their 20s wouldn't dare to make such requests. Yet, the old baby insists she has the capital to do so, confidently showing off her slender figure and delicate skin, claiming that despite being in her 40s, she still has the heart of a young girl. She even adds more conditions. The house must be at least 3 bedrooms and 1 living room, and located near a subway line. As for the car, she says, "No big requirements, just buy a BMW, that's enough." Upon hearing this, even the single male host sighed, saying it was nearly impossible for her to find a husband with such demands. Still, they tried to find suitable candidates. After 3 days and nights of searching, they couldn't find a single man meeting her conditions. Eventually, they had to lower the bar and find a few men with decent economic conditions. But as soon as the staff explained her conditions over the phone, most of the men refused to even meet her, worried she would only cause them trouble. Finally, one man agreed. He was 46 years old, working in property management, with a monthly income of 4,000 yuan. Hearing this, the old baby frowned. His income was nearly the same as her ex-husband's. She demanded the host find her someone else. The host reassured her that the man's house was quite large, so she reluctantly agreed to meet. But as soon as she arrived at his building, she started criticizing. "This housing complex is so old, and the building doesn't even have an elevator. How will we climb the stairs when we're old?" During the meeting, disappointment was written all over her face, not only with the house, but with the man himself. "He's not my type at all. The house may be big, but it's not what I want. His appearance, his height, none of it is up to my standards." In conversation, she made it clear she would never do any household chores. Surprisingly, the man said this was no problem, promising that as long as she would give him a child, he would handle all the housework and expenses. But the old baby hesitated not because she couldn't have more children, but because she doubted whether a man with such limited income could afford to raise 3 children. At this, the man finally revealed his hidden card. After demolition, he would be compensated with around 5 million yuan. Hearing this, the old baby's face lit up instantly. She suddenly found the man far more attractive and eagerly expressed her willingness to give him a child. It seemed like the two would certainly end up together until the old baby ruined everything by demanding control over the entire 5 million yuan compensation as soon as they got married. This shocked the man's best friend, who warned him, "She's only after your money. She doesn't really love you." The man fell into hesitation, torn between money and beauty. Seeing his uncertainty, the old baby threw a tantrum, acting like a spoiled princess and declaring that marrying her would make him the luckiest man alive. But in the end, after a fierce inner struggle, the man chose to walk away. He realized that keeping the 5 million in his own pocket was far safer than giving it all to her.
你催婚的时候能不能连抖音这个亲闺女一块催一下？抖音结婚了。
When my mother nags me about marriage, I always want to ask her, "Could you please nag Douyin, TikTok too?" I tell her, "Mom, if Douyin gets married, then I'll get married." For others, Douyin is Douyin daddy. But for my mom, Douyin is her real dear daughter, who understands her better than her biological child. Sure, Douyin can't provide filial piety, but then again, my actual daughter doesn't really show much filial piety either. At least Douyin can accompany me 24 hours a day, listen to my thoughts, and make me laugh. Where is my real daughter? If I don't call her first, she never remembers she has a mom. And when I do call, the first thing she says is, "Oh, so you finally remembered you have a mother." Sometimes, I even wonder if I gave birth to her at all or if she just popped out of a stone without a shred of affection. Honestly, if my mom would just stop pressuring me to get married, I could go back to calling her every day. But I really want to say this to her. Mom, when you nag me about marriage, could you nag Duyin too? If Duyin gets married, then I'll get married.
94年30岁未婚未育的真实现状，有一个自己的小房。
The real situation of being born in 1994, now 30 years old, unmarried and without children. I have my own small apartment. It's not very big, but it's decorated the way I like. I have a job. The income isn't a lot, but it's just enough to get by. After work, I go to the nearby supermarket, push a shopping cart without rushing, slowly browsing, buying whatever I feel like eating. Back home, I cook myself a meal. There aren't many dishes, but I plate them nicely on beautiful porcelain. Then I turn on a television show, eat while watching. I'm a lazy person. Every day I just like lying at home. I don't really enjoy going out. I don't like making friends either. Other than my best friend, I rarely hang out with anyone else. I don't like talking much. I don't like noisy places. I prefer being alone in peace. I don't understand profound philosophies. I don't know high-level learning. I don't have any grand ambitions. I'm just an ordinary person who only wants to live each day safely and steadily. The best state of life isn't to seek fullness, but to correctly face life's shortcomings. Life is uncertain. Those who are content will always find happiness.
90后还有多少没结婚的呢？以前说90后
How many people born in the 90 seconds are still unmarried? Before, when people said, post-negative 90 seconds, it felt like they were still young. But in fact, the youngest of the post-negative 90 seconds this year are already 25, the oldest are already 34. And this age group is exactly the golden age for marriage. Today, a girl born in 1997 came here and sighed. She felt like she had just graduated from university and entered the workforce. But in reality, when she thought about it, she realized she is already 27 this year. She has already worked in Hanzhong for several years. If she keeps delaying, she will become an older, leftover woman. So she wanted to ask, among her generation of post-negative 90 seconds, how many still haven't gotten married?
我是一个普通的农村姑娘。
I am an ordinary rural girl, also an older, leftover woman. In June 2022, I came to Sanya, carrying a dream to start a business. But after arriving, I ran into the pandemic. Then, while investing and starting the business, road construction came, making it impossible to keep the business running. So I had to shut it down completely. Before this, I felt that coming to Sanya, my biggest gain and happiness was meeting my boyfriend. That was what I thought was most worthwhile. There's a saying, no matter how much hardship you go through, keep your heart warm. I still believed in beautiful love. I believed I would go on with him. But because of everything that happened until now, at one point we broke up. Later, we reconciled, then broke up again. The reason we broke up was that after a previous breakup, things got so bad that the police had to step in to resolve it. After that, we got back together again. But now, with the business closed and electricity cut off, I discovered he still had entanglements with his ex-girlfriend. And I also found out that sometimes he lied. So I realized there was no need to continue. I had always hoped to have a love I could admire, but I didn't expect it would end this way. All right then, back to being happily single. If you're still watching, comment 1 so I know you're still with me.
Hello， 欢迎收看88年单身小阿姨在深圳没有婚。
Hello, welcome to the daily life of an 88 single aunt living in Shenzhen with no anxiety about marriage or relationships. I'm an only child, far away from my hometown, working in Shenzhen. I've never really thought about the future. I don't know how long this kind of life will continue. After squeezing onto the subway in the morning, I buy a styrofoam box of rice noodles downstairs at my office. These thin noodles, with a bit of pickled vegetables, salted greens, and chili oil mixed together, taste so fragrant. 4 yuan a portion. As for being 36 years old, unmarried, and without children, if in a few years I'll be 40, do I still need to feel anxious about this? Honestly, no need. Pursuing a marriage doesn't necessarily mean you'll get happiness, peace of mind, or security. I think meeting someone who loves you, understands love, cherishes you, and can walk with you all the way, that's something very beautiful. But in my experience, most of the time, things don't end in a good marriage. In this society, there are more bad people than good ones. There are many who have desires for you, who want to take from you. But there are very few who are truly sincere and willing to take responsibility. This cocoa chocolate croissant is really delicious. Isn't my breakfast too rich? Next, I eat some nuts. About a dozen. The colors of the kernels are greenish. They look very fresh. Yesterday, I saw a short phrase I want to share with everyone. The moonlight spills across the space. Life is lonely. Better to march forward mercilessly and see others' lives as fleeting ghostly flames. Sharing done. I finish work at 5:30 p.m. every day, which is considered quite early in Shenzhen. That's because at noon I only rest for 1 hour. That hour includes both eating and napping. Time to eat quickly, wiping off my lipstick first. When eating this kind of fast food outside, I rarely feel full. It's not that I don't want to eat enough, it's just that I can't. Sometimes the rice isn't good, sometimes the dishes are just average, and the meat barely a few pieces. Really, that's how it island. Looks like I can't be lazy. I need to cook for myself. After work, I stop by a shop near home to look for food and daily goods. I bought a box of sugar-free black sesame balls, just a healthy little snack for hair care. My white hairs are really increasing. I bought a cheese stick, felt fun. Also a bottle of conditioner. So many snacks, I looked at the ingredient list and put most of them back. When I don't socialize, this is how my life looks when I'm alone. Pretty simple. I don't think loneliness is such a big deal. I hope you too can be self-sufficient and happy like this.
说句实话，我今年已经38岁了，家里已经开始不再催婚，但是呢，
To be honest, I'm already 38 this year. My family has stopped pressuring me to get married. But now they've started urging me to have children. Lately, I've been thinking whether I should go through IVF. Some time ago, I did an AMH and hormone test. The overall results weren't very good. Tomorrow, I've scheduled another test because for the past 2 months, I've been taking Chinese herbal medicine to regulate things, along with supplements for ovarian health. So I want to see if, after these 3 months of care, there's any improvement. I also consulted Thailand. They told me my ovaries are aging early and I need to keep my cycle normal. For IVF, the number of follicles in both ovaries needs to be enough about 15 inches 1 retrieval cycle. But in my last checkup, I only had 3-4 on the left and 2-3 on the right, so about 7-8 total. Not enough. My family suggests I hurry and find a partner within the next 2 years, get married and have children. But I keep thinking, what if I don't find someone? What then? So I feel I need to leave myself another option. Should I consider freezing my eggs first? Sisters, help me think. Should I freeze them or hurry to find a partner?
虽然我现在42岁了，还没有老公，没有另一。
Although I'm already 42 years old and still don't have a husband, don't have another half, if someday I really do find the one and get married, I'm telling you right now, I don't plan on spending a single cent on the wedding. I've already thought this through carefully. Think about it, a wedding? I'm not planning to make it a big production. Maybe a lot of people will say, what girl doesn't want a grand, glamorous wedding? But I'm the exception. It's not that I'm stingy, it's that I truly think it's unnecessary. You hold a wedding, invite people to drink wine and eat meat, and all that money just flows out like water. Even if the man's family is the one paying, it's still no good. What if that money is his hard-earned savings from years of work? To blow it all on one single day, how heartbreaking is that? Instead of spending all that to treat other people, why not save it for the real life after marriage? Because once you're married, there are so many places money needs to go. Wouldn't it be better to put that money toward the future, like buying things for the household, milk powder and diapers for the baby, or even saving up for a spontaneous weekend trip? Isn't that much more comforting and practical? These days, people value what's real. Marriage is not about putting on a show for others. It's about 2 people living together, managing rice, oil, salt, sauce, vinegar, tea, every single daily expense. Why waste all that money on empty formality? In my opinion, marriage is about 2 people thinking as one, pulling their strength together in the same direction. Do all those external displays really matter? Some people live their whole lives caring only about what others think. But tell me, can face be eaten as food? Number? Marriage isn't to be lived for outsiders. When the time comes, if I marry, it will be simple, not a cent wasted. Let those who like to gossip say what they want. Meanwhile, we'll live our own steady little life, and that's far better. For example, I have a cousin who had an extravagant wedding. The bride price alone was 280,000 yuan, all of which went to her parents. The banquet had dozens of tables, costing another 300,000 to 400,000. At the time, many girlfriends were green with envy. But the truth is, all that money was borrowed by the groom's family from relatives and friends. After they got married, the couple had to go far away to work and pay off debts. That's what I call dying for face, living in suffering. You see those people who throw everything away for one flashy wedding, they often don't even want to keep going with the marriage afterward. Meanwhile, we could have saved that money and lived a good life without caring about envy or appearances. While others are weighed down by debt from their wedding, we might already be traveling the world with our children. That's why I've decided when I marry, I'll choose this path. Save money, live happily, don't waste money foolishly, spend money where it really counts, make our little life better and better. After all, money is hard to earn, and hardships are hard to bear. We must learn to cherish every bit of what's truly good. Of course, all of this is under the premise that I actually find that other half. Right now is absolutely the golden season for matchmaking. Why is that? Look, the weather is just right, not too hot. In a few days, it'll be the National Day holiday, perfect for making time to date. If two people meet and find they're compatible, after about a month, they can confirm the relationship. After 2 months of dating, it's almost the end of the year, and that's a good time for both families to meet. Then, at the beginning of next year, they can pick a good date to get engaged. By the Dragon Boat Festival, the wedding can be held. Afterward, the newlyweds can celebrate Dragon Boat Festival together with both families, lively and joyful. If you tell your parents about such a timeline, they'll be grinning from ear to ear, absolutely delighted. In today's China, the reality is striking. According to official statistics, in 2023, the number of registered marriages dropped to just 6.1 million couples, compared to 13.46 million couples in 2013, cut by more than half. At the same time, the annual number of newborns has fallen to fewer than 9 million, while the elderly population has already surpassed 310 million. These figures clearly show that marriage and family stability have become one of society's deepest crises. At such a crossroads, returning to our traditional values, cherishing family, honoring the bond of husband and wife, and taking responsibility for children is the only way to maintain balance and stability. This is the warning message that China Social Trends wants to send out today. If people only chase after appearances, money, and vanity, the foundation of family will crumble. But when we treasure sincerity, responsibility, and love, only then can we build lasting happiness. And this is exactly the key reminder from China Social Trends in this episode. 2. So, here's the question. Is a simple wedding filled with genuine happiness worth more than a luxurious one that leaves only debt? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's spark a debate. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for more. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.